The Atlanta Hawks have gone through a quiet but meaningful shakeup this offseason. While they didn't re-sign anyone, they made a few strategic moves. Nickeil Alexander-Walker joins on a 4-year deal via sign and trade, adding a versatile guard to the backcourt. Luke Kennard also comes in on a 1-year deal, likely to stretch the floor with his shooting. The biggest splash? Kristaps Porziņģis arrives in a 3-team blockbuster trade, giving Atlanta a major front-court upgrade. But it wasn't all gains. Clint Capela is heading to the Rockets in free agency. Caris LeVert left for the Pistons, and Larry Nance Jr. signed with the Cavs. The Hawks also lost Georges Niang and Terrence Mann in the same 3-team trade that brought in Porziņģis. Atlanta is betting big on a new core, and with Trae Young still leading the charge, they might just surprise a few people this season. The Boston Celtics are turning the page this offseason. After a dominant run last year, they're making bold moves to reshape their roster. Jrue Holiday, the veteran defensive anchor, is out-traded to Portland. Kristaps Porziņģis is gone too, part of a major 3-team deal. And big man Luke Kornet? He's heading to the Spurs in free agency. But don't count Boston out. They've added some key pieces in return. Georges Niang joins through that same 3-team trade, bringing toughness and floor spacing. Anfernee Simons arrives from the Blazers, giving the Celtics another dynamic scorer in the backcourt. They've also signed 2 young players, Luka Garza and Josh Minott, each on 2-year deals, low-risk, high-upside moves. Boston isn't rebuilding, they're reloading. And with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown still in place, the Celtics are far from done chasing Banner 18. The Brooklyn Nets are quietly building a new identity. They brought back 2 promising young players, Day'Ron Sharpe and Ziaire Williams, both returning on 2-year deals. But the real shift came through trades. Terrence Mann arrives in a 3-team deal, adding hustle and energy on both ends. And Michael Porter Jr., a former Nuggets star, brings scoring punch and size on the wing. On the way out, Cam Johnson was sent to Denver, D'Angelo Russell left in free agency for the Mavericks, and Trendon Watford signed with the Sixers. Brooklyn isn't chasing headlines, they're chasing fit. And this roster might have more upside than people think. The Charlotte Hornets are trying to find stability and maybe even a spark. They started by re-signing Tre Mann to a 3-year deal, showing faith in his long-term potential. Then came a wave of new faces. Pat Connaughton, a reliable veteran, joins via trade from the Bucks. Spencer Dinwiddie and Mason Plumlee, both on 1-year deals, bring experience and depth. And, in a surprise move, Collin Sexton arrives from the Jazz, bringing scoring power to the backcourt. But to get stronger, the Hornets had to let go. Jusuf Nurkic was shipped to Utah. Mark Williams, once seen as a long-term piece, was traded to the Suns. This new-look Hornets squad may not make headlines, but they're clearly shaking things up in search of something more. The Chicago Bulls made just a couple of moves this offseason, but they carry weight. Tre Jones is back on a 3-year deal, a steady presence in the backcourt who knows the system. They also brought in Isaac Okoro from Cleveland, adding a defensive-minded wing who still has room to grow. But to make room, the Bulls parted ways with Lonzo Ball, sending him to the Cavs in a trade. Not a loud offseason,